Hey, what's up, guys? I'm finally making this video. It's been too long. I was supposed to make this video, like literally day of my anniversary for testosterone and my 1 month, post-op, but that flew south. I don't know why, but it did. So anyhow, I'm making it now. Um, I don't know when I'm gonna release this video or post it, but I'm making it now. But basically, so I'm just gonna get right into both topics. The first topic is my 1 year on testosterone. So 1 year on testosterone, basically everyone's different. For me, I was looking more towards the feeling good feeling and just the, just feeling better in general, and just not, wanting to, hide in the corner all the time. As much as, what was I gonna say? It was like, yes, I wanted, all the other things that happen when you take tea, but it wasn't all the focus on that as much as it was like wanting to just in general feel, a sense of calmness, a sense of like centeredness, and just being able to, go about my day without feeling like, I might throw in the towel today. So yeah, that's not the top reason of why I'm on testosterone at all. But it's one of the main reasons why I chose to be on it, is because I wanted to feel better. And don't take my personal opinion or story for you to go on testosterone, because everyone's different, and I don't want you to go, if you're a trans guy, I don't want you to go run into your nearest, doctor or whatever and saying like, I want testosterone to feel 100% better. No, because it's not going to, it's not going to work the same way for everyone. I mean, yes, it's going to give you a better feeling in terms of, like, you're not going to have as much gender dysphoria, and you might, your depression, anxiety might die down a little bit, but it's not like, you take one shot and everything's cured. No. And other trans guys will tell you this too, because yeah, you're going to feel a certain level of more relief, but it's not gonna, magically cure all your dysphoria. So yeah. But that is main reason, or one of the main reasons I started testosterone. But now to dive into changes, etc. So, therefore, when I first started testosterone, I want to say, like, within, like, almost a month, not quite, is when my voice dropped, is when, like, I noticed I couldn't, like, sing high notes anymore. Like, I tried to, I literally I remember this, like, day of, basically. It was, like, I was in the car, and, um, I was just, like, singing, and I went to hit a high note in the song, and it came out as a squeak, and I was like, oh, there it goes. I was like, I guess those days are over. But yeah, that's literally what happens. Like one day you'll just be like trying, like, either sing or say something with a high pitched voice, and boom, you can't do it. And once that happens, it's one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to love it and be like, I'm so glad that's over. I can't hit high notes anymore and my voice is not high and squeaky. Or you're going to be like, I'm frustrated with this. For me, it was like a relief, but at the same time, it's like you have to adjust to, not being able to hit high notes anymore. So therefore, you have to figure out other ways to, like, sing, if that's what you do or if that's what you want to do. That was like month one. I basically, like, couldn't sing the way I used to. I actually am glad I can't sing that way anymore because I don't want to. But for other people, it might be frustrating because they want to still sing the way they used to, and then they can't do it anymore, and then they get frustrated with themselves. But I mean, that's what happens. So anyhow, I'm just gonna say over the course of, like, the next couple of months, like probably like 3-4 months later, is when, like, I've noticed, like, once my facial hair started coming in, like, the first spot it started was, like, right here on my chin. It just started, like I got, like, 3-4 hairs that were thicker, and all the months after that, it just kept, going. So, and it wasn't just my face. It was, like, my arm hair got thicker and more, like, defined, I guess is the correct word. My head hair, it went, well, I shaved, obviously, but when it's long, it went from, like, I guess, like a roughness to absolutely, like, soft. Like, my hair went, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like it went completely different texture. It wasn't the way it used to be. It was like, it's now, like, very, like, soft and, like, poofy, I guess. Like, it's not, like, if I do this, like, it's a totally different feeling than before when I shaved my head. It's like, this is like lamb's bottom soft. It's like different texture. It's like, it's crazy. And, like, yeah, it's going to be soft now because I just shaved my head. It's all new growth, obviously. But, like, I can tell from before I started testosterone, when I shaved my head, it was not this soft. Like, it wasn't this softness. So there's definitely a texture change or a softness change when you start testosterone. I hear a lot of guys complaining about baldness and their hairline receding and all that jazz. For me, my hairline, my hairline to begin with is far back. Like, I have a huge forehead to begin with. I don't know why, but I have a big forehead to begin with. So that is not, that's the least of my worries. Hair receding, I still have, it's not receding. I mean, I'm not saying I want it to recede, but, like, I think it depends on your genetics, obviously. I mean, if you have it in your family that you have bad, hair loss or, hair history, uh, then that's going to happen. But for me, I think whatever nationality I am, I have a freaking full head of hair. So, yeah, like, I mean, yes, my hairline itself is far back when it should probably be like here. But, I mean, I'm not like balding or anything that I can see yet. I mean, I'm only 22, so going on 23. But, I mean, I'm not really worried about like balding or losing my hair to that extent. I do know my grandpa literally had a head full of black hair like this, and the day he died, he literally had maybe like 3 gray hairs in his like sideburns. That's it. Like he like was full head of hair, no hair loss, nothing. Day he died. So, I'm not saying all dark haired people like keep a full solid color head of hair, but like I'm just not concerned about that at all. I want to think like that if that happened, I would just embrace it. Like, I don't like hair on my head to begin with. Like, it's just annoying. Like, I have psoriasis to begin with, so like all the less hair I have to deal with, like, that's great. Next topic. I want to say 3-4 months. Once you hit like 5-6 months on testosterone, most of what will happen or is going to happen will have happened is the correct term. From what I heard. But then again, I know I'm saying this a zillion times, but everyone is different. I mean, depending on your nationality, your genetics, something different might happen. It might take, a regular trans guy, 5 months for everything to settle in. The next guy over might take, a year. So everyone's different. Don't rush the process when, your best friend has a full beard and you have 3 hairs. They only took, 2 months to get a full beard and you're taking a year. You want to be patient as possible. I know it's frustrating because you just want results overnight, but I told myself before I started this whole process, like, I'll take what I get. I'm very patient. And yeah, I was like, I will take and accept whatever happens. And like, I don't know, like when I first started testosterone, I remember like, there's no way I'm gonna get more than like 3 hairs. Like, my whole bottom's basically covered. On camera, it obviously doesn't look like my whole under's covered, but it's filling in. I mean, like, it's filling in. Like, it's getting there. It's really getting there. So, that is, I'm happy that's happening. And also, this is not my full length. I can grow. I have recently shaved, so this is probably like mid-length. This is not, the full length that I can grow. Once it is at its full length, I could basically like not grab it, but it gets pretty like I'm able to like get a good, pinch on it. So this is just scruff. This is not, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that this is not the full glory. But, yeah, so everyone is different, as I said, and it's going to take, each trans guy or non-binary person to grow facial hair or anything, different amounts of time. And results that, one person might get in 2 months may take, 6 months for you. So it depends on the variety of your genetics, your nationality, etc. But other than that, so my testosterone anniversary date is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Wow. So last year, on the 17th of March, at 9:30 exactly, I gave myself my first shot. We're already in April now. But yeah, this is me over a little over a year on testosterone. Some guys may say, your changes or your results will stop after you hit a year. Some may not say that. For me, my personal opinion is I can see why people say it stops, but I also want to give my own opinion, which is it varies. My opinion is, I don't think it stops at a year. It's not like you have a deadline writing a report, and then once that deadline hits, you're like either good or you're out. As long as you keep taking your meds as prescribed and day of your shot, the results are endless. If you stopped at a year exactly taking your meds, then yeah, whatever happened is gonna stay, but you might not get more of, your beard growth, etc. Because you cut off your entire, med to your body. So if that's what you did, then that's not probably, but that's, explainable of why your results stopped at a year. But if you continue taking your daily shot, then, results should, for all I know, probably increase, and get better. Every trans guy is different, or non-binary person, but, yeah, I don't want, you to get frustrated with your results once you hit a year, because as long as you're taking your testosterone, anything can happen. So, and I'm not saying it's all butterflies and daisies. No, you're gonna have those moments and times where you get frustrated and you're like, why am I even doing this? Or you're like, why am I not seeing the results I want? Or why is my best friend who's trans getting a full beard at so many months and I am sitting over here with one hair? And unfortunately, the solid answer, and probably you heard this from a million other trans guys, is it's genetics, it's nationality, it's, what you got going in your system, So, if you don't have good, facial hair, genetics in your family, then most likely you're not going to grow a full beard or, a lot of hair for that matter, which is unfortunate. And yeah, it can be frustrating. So try to be patient. If you got to like 5 years on testosterone and you're seeing still like one hair, then, by that time, then yeah. If you wanted to, get some kind of surgery or something that made you have a full beard, then be my guest and do that. I'm not encouraging you to do that, but that's what is going to make you happy, then do that. But enough of me talking about that. Let's switch the topic to 1 month post-op. So the 16th of March was 1 month post-op, and the day after, the 17th, was 1 year on testosterone. So that's why I was going to make this video one of those 2 days, but I got sidetracked and caught up with a bunch of other things and just was like, I can't make this video. So now that I'm making this video, I will inform you of all what has happened. So I'm trying to remember the last video I made. It was like 10 months on testosterone or something, and like a top surgery update. So basically, day of surgery, okay, I got there, the nurse called me back, I was with my case manager, and she was supposed to come back with me, and they said, no, you're not allowed to come back because of COVID. So she had to stay in the waiting room. The nurse took me back to the room where I'd be, staying until they took me to the operating room. She basically was like, okay, put this gown on, etc. Once I had the gown on, she came back in and just rattled off a bunch of questions, and at the same time, this other nurse was trying to like find a vein, trying to hook up my IV, and also like putting, I think, a blood pressure cuff on me, and just like trying to get everything situated on that side. Well, this nurse is rattling off a bunch of questions, and I'm just like, whoa, like I'm trying to like multitask here. So yeah, so answered all her questions, signed about like 3 or 2 papers. So they had my consent and my, good to go kind of thing to do everything. And then the nurse said the anesthesiologist will come in here and discuss what they're going to do while you're, like, what they're going to give you, etc., during surgery. And this is the part where I literally got so, like, emotional, and I also, like, felt so safe, because the nurse said, your anesthesiologist is named Mason, and if you don't know, my dog's name was Mason. He has now passed, as most of you know, but when she said that, my heart went from my chest to my gut, because I felt like in that moment, like somehow my dog was like overseeing me. He was like guiding me, or like with me. And like I just felt so like safe and relieved, and felt like this was meant to be. And it just made me feel at peace and just very calm. Because before she had said that, I was so, like, my hands were sweaty, and I was just, like, all, like, uptight, and it wasn't because, like, the surgery itself, it was just, like, the before, the prep kind of thing, that gets me so, like, anxious, I guess. So, like, the before surgery reaction just gets me very, like, tense. So once she said that, like, everything just drained out of me, and I just could, like, simply relax. But even though that, you know, I was getting relaxed, I still asked her to give me something to relax me on the way to the operating room, just so I wasn't, like, trying to strangle an alligator on the operating room table. So the anesthesiologist came in, gave me some meds to help with possible pain afterward, and then he gave me the good stuff, the stuff that makes me just relax as ever. And I remember, like, I wasn't even to the operating room table, and I was, like, almost, like, passed out. And, like, I just faintly remember, like, just being able to get myself, like, onto the table, and the rest is, like, good night. So, yeah, that was how I got to the not emergency room, the surgery room. And then I woke up, and my case manager was in the room with me. They allowed her where I was, whatever room I was in. I don't think it was the same exact room that I was in prior to surgery. I don't think so. Might have been. But she was there, and I was fighting the anesthesia so bad. Like, I was, like, thrashing my head, and, like, I was fighting that stuff off. Like, I just wanted to be awake. Like, I just wanted to wake up. But, like, I would go in and out of sleeping, and, like, finally, like, the nurse came in. I was conscious enough to know the nurse came in, and she's like, you want to sit up? You want to, I was kind of sitting up because, like, I had to be elevated, but, like, she was asking if I wanted to, like, be, like, 90 degrees sitting up. So I said yes, and then she's like, would you like some, water, or, and I was like, sure, like, I'll, try to eat and drink something. So I did that, and then once I did that, it, like, kicked in, like, my, like, alert response, so I, like, kind of, like, came to more, and I was more awake, and my case manager said, like, the first thing I said once I was, like, alert enough was, like, are they gone? And, like, when she told me that, it was just, like, I actually said that, like, what? But, yeah, that's, like, the first thing I said when I woke up, and, like, I just remember, like, I was still drowsy, but I just remember, like, dragging my fingers, like, down my chest, and the feeling for the first time, like, nothing there, and I was just like, oh my word, like, this is awesome. But yeah, that is, like, it was, like, the weirdest feeling, but the best feeling, and probably other trans guys can relate to this, because, your whole life you have, like, this thing in the way, and then it's taken away, and it's like, whoa, like, this is awesome. So it's just the weird feeling part, because, like, you've had it your whole life, and then you go to like, feel what was used to be there is not there anymore, and then it's like, oh wow, this is what it's really supposed to feel like. So yeah, and then after I was alert enough, basically, I remember, I think the nurse, like, asked me in general, like, if I wanted to get up and walk around or something. I said, sure, like, I can try to walk. So I got up, and, they put the bed railing down, and I started walking around. And then she's like, how about we try walking down the hallway? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna like pass out anymore, because like I felt alert enough that I wasn't gonna like crash on the floor. So we were like walking in the hallway, and then like I think I asked like, is there like a bathroom around here? So she's like, yeah, there's a bathroom over here. So like she basically just said like, call me if you need help, like pull the, because there's like that call the nurse thing in bathrooms and hospitals. So she's like, just call me if like you fall over or something. So yeah, that was that. And then I came back to the room, and basically I think they had me sign a paper saying like allowing me to be discharged or something. And yeah, I was good to go. And they just gave me a bunch of like supplies to take home. They gave me like, I think it was like a whole packet of papers stapled together with all my instructions of do's and don'ts. And then I got dressed carefully, and after that, they were like, okay, you're good to go. And then I went to go like regularly walk, and they were like, no, we're getting a wheelchair. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I thought they were gonna have me just walk out, but they're like, no, because you just had anesthesia, like you need a wheelchair. So like, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, rarely, they'll just let you walk out. But I guess this hospital was just being safe, so they got me a wheelchair, wheeled me to the car. I got in the car, and then we went home to my house. Night of surgery, I had a nurse aide take care of me. She basically stayed overnight and just made sure that, I didn't, get up in the middle of the night and like do anything crazy or like fall or something. So yeah, I slept all night long. That night, I was not, I was exhausted, but not exhausted, if that makes sense. But surprisingly, like right after surgery, like usually after you go under anesthesia, you want to sleep the rest of it off. Like you come home and you just sleep. Like I was like up and going. Like I was like, let's get this party started kind of thing. So I was not drowsy. I was completely awake, which was weird to me, because I was just like, this has never been this simple for me to just come out of anesthesia and be this alert. Like I was surprised. So shout out to my doctor and the hospital if they're seeing this. Whatever you gave me, I give you a thumbs up, because that stuff was delicious. But yeah, and so the next day, I think, if I can remember, my life coach came and just checked on me and made sure I was okay. And I think, I don't know if like we went shopping or something, but like for food, but yeah, that was the next day. And then all the days after that, like I just continued to heal. And each day I felt a little better. But throughout the whole experience, I had no pain. I didn't take the prescribed pain meds. They gave me a blocker in my chest to begin with. So that's probably why I didn't have the pain I would have had. But regardless of that, like I can't feel pain to begin with. So that's probably half of the reason why I couldn't feel what I was probably supposed to feel. But yeah. But that was, like, I had no complaints, like, other than, like, the day before and the day of getting my drains out was like, I guess, the worst out of the whole thing, because I literally could feel my drains inside of me like moving around, and I was just like, what? Like every time I felt it, I just wanted to throw up. And I was like, these things need to come out. Like, this is like disgusting. So once I got my drains taken out, I felt much better. And to all the guys that say drains hurt coming out, I don't know what kind you get, but mine, I could not feel nothing. I don't know if it was because I can't feel pain or if they use a different type of drain, but I could not feel nothing coming out. I was like, you done? And she's like, oh, they're out. They're in the garbage. I was like, what? So that was interesting. I felt nothing when I was like ready to like scream, and I felt nothing. So she took all the bandages off. We're talking, getting my drains out now. She took all the bandages off and, looked at everything. And she's like, yeah, it's going to look kind of gnarly at first because, you just got chopped open. But I was like, yeah, I understand that. And so I was very swollen. I remember my left side was so, like, I don't want to say irritated, but it was more swollen and more raised than my right side, probably because your heart's on your left side and there's more, I guess, veins or blood situations on your left side. But my left side was, worse than my right. I noticed that healing. And yeah, and then like as the swelling went down, I was just like, why do I still feel like large, if you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like still swollen and everything. And so after I got my drains taken out, I went to the drains out was one post-op, and then I had another post-op. So the second post-op, I went back and they just checked everything. And I said, like, why do I still feel like I'm swollen and just big in general? And she's like, because that's your pec muscles. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't realize like how big my pec muscles are until like she like told me that. She's like touching me and like showing me. She's like, this is all muscle. Like, you do realize that, right? And I was like, what? So I guess all of my committed days, years, whatever of CrossFit paid off, because like I literally am probably like, no joke, an A cup in pecs. So yeah, it's insane. I'm not saying all of it is, defined pec muscle, but like 98% is pec. So when I walk around, it looks like I still have something, but it's muscle. But yeah, I was just like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, I knew I had like chest muscle because I could feel this, but I didn't realize like it was all the way down. Like, it was completely rounded out. Like, I'm solid. So I was like, wow. But yeah. And then after that appointment, they basically made an appointment for, I think, like 6 months. So my next follow-up is September 15. Excuse me. For that yawn. And then they're just gonna basically make sure that like everything is completely healed. And then from that, second post-op, so basically she's like, at first I had to cover my nipple grafts with Band-Aids and antibiotic ointment. And then that was from getting my drains out to the second one, the covering my nipple grafts and all that. And then at the second one, she took off the brown tape that was on my incisions and took off the band-aids I had on my nipple grafts, and basically was like, okay, so you don't have to wear anything on your nipples anymore. And as far as your incisions, you are going to thoroughly massage morning and night and wear silicone tape. And so I still am doing that. As far as the care for everything in general, basically I can just put lotion or some moisturizing thing on my chest to keep my chest in general and my nipples moisturized and from getting cracked and dry. And my incisions, I have to wear silicone tape and massage morning and night, or twice a day whenever I choose, for about like 5 to 7 minutes, like each. I'm not saying this is, the required amount. Each trans guy's doctor is gonna say different amount of times, or lengths of time. She said as long as you do it like thoroughly, you don't have to do it that long. She showed me how hard or how tight I have to press when I do massage. It has to turn like that white color when you press down on your skin to massage. I can do it with tape on or with tape off, but if I have the tape on, I have to actually get in there and make sure I'm actually doing it. So so that was that. And now, a little over a month, I am looking pretty good. I have to say I had no complications so far. I'm not saying nothing is going to happen, even though for the majority I'm almost completely healed. And yeah, I'm just very thankful and happy that this happened, or I could get this to happen, because I worked really hard for this, and it just makes me feel at peace and just relieved, as well as I just am 90% more confident than I used to be. Like, I can actually walk out the door without feeling like I have to like hide behind a brick wall. I can actually walk standing straight up now. I don't have to crunch over and like hide. So yeah. But as some of my subscribers or viewers may know, I have posted TikToks and Instagram. On my Instagram, I have posted my results if you want to see. But if you don't have either or of those, I will let you see here my results. I do, heads up, I do have my tape on currently, so you're not going to see my incisions. But other than that, you can just see the build and structure of like what my doctor meant by like I have a lot of pec muscle. But yeah, I will take off my shirt and show you my results. But before I continue, this is for educational purposes only, so if you don't like seeing this, whatever, just click off the video. Don't report me or whatever, because someone else could use this information, and yeah, just this is for educational purposes only. So I'm not doing this to flaunt anything. I just want other trans guys and people that consider top surgery um, to inform them of what your results might look like. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. And I will show you. So this is my chest. My camera's not. Okay, there we go. So this is the tape I have to use for my incisions. It's kind of falling off now. It will automatically fall off by itself because it's supposed to. And she said I can clip at it like with a scissor, like I can like trim this as it falls off, or if I just get sick of it, I can just put a new strip on. But yeah, this is my results, and it doesn't look like it, but when I do this, like I have this crease as if I have something there, but this is all muscle. Like this is solid. I mean, this is a little fat, but this is all solid. So yeah, like this is from the side, solid. This is not fat. This is all solid. So to those people who think this is, something else, it's not. It's pec muscle, and I'm just like, whoa. So this is, and then I don't know if you can see it, but my drain holes are like right there, like in this crease on each side, right there. And yeah, so I did notice right away that this nipple graft is smaller than this one, but I did know from previously, before my surgery, that this side was already slightly bigger than this side. So I'm just like, whatever. I mean, if you stand far away, it looks even the same. So it is what it is. But yeah, I am so satisfied with my results. When I put my arms down, yeah, I see this little pocket. This is from, she did liposuction, by the way. I do have to massage all that out of there. I still have a little bump there from the liposuction, the hardness, but I do have to massage all that out. But what I'm trying to get to is that from wearing binders and tight compressed things from before, I do have these little like pouches on the side, which is fat and extra skin. But if I work out or whatever, she said that will even out, go away, whatever. She said the only way that's gonna go away and straighten out is if I work out. But yeah, this is my results. And I am in love. It was better than I thought it was going to turn out. And if you guys are wondering all this red stuff on my chest, before you, report me or get concerned, this is psoriasis. I have it in my head, or on my head, I should say, but it can travel. It's basically an allergic reaction to yourself, so it's your skin rejecting your skin. And right now, it's actually pretty tame. It's not irritated as it usually is, so I caught it at a good time to film this. But yeah, I am so happy. And as far as like my nipples go, the coloration is gonna come back. That dark stuff is the coloration coming back on each of them. It takes a while for the coloration to come back because your nerves have to connect again and find like the passage to regain the color, because they literally take it off of your old tissue and put it on new tissue. So yeah, the nerves and veins have to line back up for that to happen again. So when I first came out of surgery and saw my chest, it was like, why are my nipples so like pale? And she's like, oh, the color will come back. It's just gonna take a couple months. Which I was like, fine, that's fine. I'm not in any rush. My tape's falling off, but Yeah, so I will put my shirt back on for the sake of those who want to hear this information but don't want to see me. I will be appropriate and put my shirt back on. But to close this video, if you are somebody who is considering this surgery, I live in Vermont. My doctor was very thorough and very patient with the whole process with me. But if you're considering the surgery, I will warn you, if you're expecting this to be covered by insurance or even paying out of pocket, it is a process to get everything, get the chicks lined up, as they say, and get everything, approved and, shuffled in the file. So I hope all of my information is helpful. Feel free to comment down below if you have any questions, any wonderings, or, whatever. I mean, I will answer to the best of my ability, of what knowledge I know. I will never give you guys information that, I have no idea about, or I'm unsure. And yeah, that's basically it. But next video, I don't know. I will have to see. But without further ado, hit that like button, comment if you want to, and by all means, subscribe. I would love it if you subscribed. And if you're not a fan of, transgender content on this channel, feel free to comment or message me, whatever, like, what you do want me to do or what you would like me to, make a video about, because I'm only making this content, because this is my journey. But if you want to see, something else in your category, feel free for me to, do that for you. I'm very open. So anyhow, I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, peace. Love you.